It is 3 in the morning. An unannounced viral product launch hits your web service. Traffic quadruples in 90 seconds. CPU utilization across your pods shoots up to 182%. Without automated scaling, your containers throttle, request timeout, and your users get 503 service unavailable errors. In this episode of Kubernetes How-To, we dive into horizontal pod autoscaling. We will cover the core control loop architecture, master the exact mathematical formula HPA uses to scale workloads, walk through CPU requests and limits, deploy HPA v2 on a real cluster, and watch 10 pods spin up under a live traffic surge. When traffic surges hit, traditional static infrastructure leaves SRE scrambling to run manual queue control scale commands, but manual intervention is slow, error-prone, and unsustainable. Horizontal Pod Autoscaler automates replica management by continuously monitoring resource metrics. HPA runs as a dedicated controller loop inside the Kubernetes control manager. By default, every 15 seconds, controlled by the Horizontal Pod Autoscaler sync period flag, HPA queries metrics server, evaluates pod metrics against target thresholds, and issues scale commands to the deployment controller to dynamically adjust replica counts. Before touching YAML, let us master the exact mathematical formula Kubernetes uses to determine desired replicas. Desired replicas equals ceiling of current replicas multiplied by the ratio of currentMetric value to targetMetric value. Let us run through a concrete example. Suppose you currently have 2 running replicas. Your target average CPU utilization is set to 50%, and a traffic spike pushes current average CPU utilization to 182%. Substituting into the formula, 2 times 182 divided by 50 equals 2 times 3.64, which is 7.28. Rounding up with the ceiling function yields 8 desired replicas. If 8 exceeds your configured maximum, HPA caps the scale-up at your max replicas limit. Furthermore, HPA applies scale-up rate limits to prevent sudden massive cluster over-provisioning. This brings us to golden rule number 1 of Kubernetes autoscaling. HPA requires a working metrics provider. HPA does not poll pods directly. Instead, metrics server acts as a cluster-wide aggregator, scraping resource metrics from cAdvisor embedded inside the kubelet on every node. cAdvisor tracks raw Linux kernel, cgroup CPU usage counters in nanoseconds, and metrics server computes the rate over a sliding window. Metrics server exposes container CPU usage over the resource metrics API endpoint at metrics.k8s.io. If metrics server is missing, or if metric scraping fails, running kube control get HPA displays an unknown target value, and the autoscaling controller cannot take action. Let us spin up a single node K3D cluster to see this in practice. Lightweight Kubernetes distributions like K3D and K3S include metrics server enabled out of the box. Running Kube control top nodes and Kube control top pods confirms that CPU and memory metrics are actively flowing from cAdvisor through metrics server to our kube control client. We can inspect node CPU allocation in real time before launching our application. Now for golden rule number 2, which strips up even senior DevOps engineers, container CPU requests are strictly mandatory for utilization-based HPA. HPA calculates CPU utilization percentage as current CPU usage divided by the container CPU request. If you omit resource request CPU from your pod spec, HPA has no denominator. Percentage calculation becomes mathematically impossible, target metric reports unknown, and HPA will never scale your workload. Under the hood, CPU requests map directly to Linux. cgroup CPU shares for guaranteed scheduling weight, while CPU limits translate to cgroup's CFS quota us, enforcing a hard processing ceiling. Here is our deployment manifest for a high concurrency PHP Apache application. Under resources, we explicitly configure request CPU at 100 millicores, which represents 1/10 of a vCPU core. This establishes 100 millicores as our baseline denominator for HPA calculations. We also set limits CPU to 500 millicores, allowing brief CPU bursts up to half a core before completely fair scheduler bandwidth control imposes CPU throttling. We initialize the deployment with 2 running replicas. We execute control apply to create the HPA Apache deployment and its corresponding cluster IP service. Running control get pods shows our two initial pods entering the running state. Each pod now has its cgroup CPU request registered with the Kubernetes node scheduler, guaranteeing baseline CPU bandwidth. Now, let us examine the Horizontal Pod Autoscaler manifest written using the Autoscaling v2 API. Under spec, scale target ref points to our PHP Apache deployment. We configure min replicas to 2 and max replicas to 10. Under metrics, we specify a resource metric targeting CPU with average utilization set to 50%. Notice the behavior block. We configure scale down with a stabilization window seconds of 300 seconds or 5 minutes. This stabilization window prevents flapping, a dangerous condition where rapid fluctuations in incoming traffic cause pods to continuously scale up and scale down, destabilizing application latency. We apply the HPA manifest with control apply. HPA immediately registers with the autoscaling controller loop. Running control get, HPA shows target CPU utilization starting at 0% out of our 50% target with replica count standing at 2. The controller is now monitoring metrics server every 15 seconds. With our workload and HPA deployed, let us simulate a 3 AM traffic surge. We will launch a load generator pod that executes concurrent infinite HTTP loops against our PHP Apache service, forcing container CPU utilization to spike well above our 50% threshold. We launch login.yaml and watch HPA react live with control get HPA watch. Within 15 seconds, metrics server reports average CPU utilization jumping to 182%. HPA evaluates the formula 2 times 182 over 50, calculating 8 desired replicas. HPA immediately issues a scale command to 8 pods. As traffic continues, CPU utilization registers 140%, prompting HPA to expand to our configured max replicas cap of 10 running pods. Running control get pods confirms all 10 pods are running in parallel, distributing incoming requests evenly across our node. Running control describe HPA shows the complete event audit log, successful rescale events recorded by the Horizontal Pod Autoscaler controller, detailing the exact timeline and numerical reasoning for scaling from 2 to 8 and 8 to 10 replicas. While CPU-based HPA works exceptionally well for synchronous HTTP workloads, CPU utilization is a lagging indicator for asynchronous queue-driven microservices processing tasks from Kafka, RabbitMQ, or AWS CQS. By the time CPU spikes on worker pods, your message queue may already be backlogged with tens of thousands of unprocessed messages. For event-driven architectures, we use KEDA, Kubernetes Event-Driven Autoscaling, which scales pods directly based on queue depth before CPU ever twitches. KEDA extends HPA by introducing custom scale objects and an external metrics adapter. Additionally, remember that HPA scales pods, not nodes. If your Kubernetes cluster nodes run out of CPU capacity, new pods enter a failed scheduling state and remain pending until the cluster autoscaler provisions new cloud virtual machines. To summarize our production engineering checklist for Kubernetes autoscaling: first, always define container CPU requests on every deployment. Second, set target average CPU utilization between 50 and 70% to leave headroom for scale-up latency. Third, tune scale-down stabilization windows to prevent pod flapping. And fourth, pair HPA with cluster autoscaler for true node to pod elasticity. All manifest files and commands are available in our public GitHub repository linked below. Subscribe for episode 3, where we build production GitOps pipelines using Argo CD. Until next time, ship with confidence and better odds.